Hey, what's up? It's Steve Holmes. We're streaming live. We're doing a little experiment. We're trying some new things. I'm just flipping the switch, seeing what it looks like on a couple different platforms. We're streaming live from the drum room here. We play drums. We talk about drums. Been doing this for a while now, having fun. Drumming is fun. Drumming is healthy. Drumming is therapeutic. It's all about drumming here. So post those questions, post those comments, and we're throwing it up on X today. We're throwing it up on Facebook, on a couple different platforms. So I'm just kind of seeing like how the chat looks, how the picture looks, all those things. Seeing if it even works on X. Let's see what it looks like on X here. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Today's Sunday, right? Yeah. Just seeing if the stream is going live. The holidays are upon us. Hope everyone's having fun dealing with that. I'm on a bit of a break, so that should be fun. I can't tell if we're actually live or not live. I think we might be. Let's see, view stream. Boom. I think we are. Looks like it. All right, we're going to play along to a track maybe, do some improvising. Actually went to a show yesterday. Went to the El Rey Theater here in Los Angeles to see Puddles the Clown, Puddles Pity Party, who's actually an acquaintance of ours. And Puddles always puts on a great show. He's a fantastic singer. Super fun. Trying to get out and do things, you know? Because the couch is calling. Ooh, the couch is calling. So we're trying to avoid the couch as long as we can, because it's going to get you eventually. You know, those shows won't binge themselves. So, yeah, like I said, this is more of a test, more of an experiment. So post some comments. Let's see how it looks. Trying to see how it looks on different platforms. Refreshing. I'm not seeing it on X. Let us know what folks are listening to. I need some new music to listen to, I think. So let's get some suggestions here. Listening to the same old stuff. All the polls are open, right? It's poll season. Modern Drummer, Drumeo. Those drum polls are happening. Curious who folks are voting for that kind of thing. It seems like it's the same kind of group of guys. I say, let's see, Dave DiCenzo, Gergo, Moritz Mueller, Alexander Marenko, Louis Palmer, and that new guy Xavier. I forget his last name. I see his stuff a lot, and I really dig it. Oh, and Justin Scott, Jay Scott. Those are my guys. I vote for them for all the categories. Those are my guys. Those are the guys to check out. People are often asking me like, "Hey, Steve, what guys are you listening to?" And those are the guys that I'm really digging these days. So if I seem distracted, that's because I am. Like I said, this is kind of an experiment. And just kind of seeing how I'm tweaking the setup here, tweaking the stream setup. And seeing how it sounds, seeing how it looks. All right, cool. The YouTube chat is up. I'm going to type a comment since no one else is. Hi, this is Steve. You stink. Oops. Oh, boom. There it is. Okay, cool. So the chat's working. So I guess, I don't know, I guess we'll just do a little warming up. Hit the drums, since watching me be distracted on a computer is probably not all that entertaining. So I guess we'll just warm up a little bit. I'll try to make it exciting. But we're open to questions. Anyone has questions about drumming, questions about music, questions about life? Let's get into it. Let's get into it, okay? Matthias is awesome. He's on here on Facebook. He says he checked out some Mark Letary group recently. Was that any good? I'm going to check it out just on your recommendation. Hi, Matthias. Matthias says, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, too. I hope you're having a good holiday, if that's something that you're doing, Matthias. I think the last video I saw of you, Matthias, you were like in a practice room, or you were in some kind of room with the white kit, and I think you were in between giving lessons or something, maybe, and did a quick like throw the phone up kind of video. And of course it sounded great because you're great. I wished you lived in Los Angeles so we can hang out and geek out about drumming, but for now this is my drum geek out, talking into a camera. I used to have several friends that lived in Los Angeles, and we'd hang out and listen to recordings and watch bootlegs and stuff, but you know, everyone's moved on with their life, and so in order to scratch that itch I have to just hook up electronics and talk to a camera, which is kind of what we're doing, but it's fine. Matthias, actually, while you're here, I'm trying to get like a mix with this play-along track. I'm going to play the track and just hit my drums. Let me know how the balance is between the drums and the track, okay? How's the balance? Standing by. Standing by for feedback on the mix. It's, you know, because I have the click in the ears, I'm trying to prevent the click from going into the live thing, and it can be a thing sometimes. I'm still getting the hang of the Apollo software, believe it or not, because I don't want to spend too much time like wrestling with software. You know, this is a it's a recreational endeavor, and I spent a lot of time working with programs and software, like at my full-time gig as a video game designer. For those of you that don't know, I work at Infinity Ward. We make video games. I'm very lucky. It's a super awesome job. Toms could be a bit louder maybe, but the overall balance of drums and track are good. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tobias. Yeah, Matthias. All right, well, toms could be a bit louder, huh? Interesting. I don't know. See what you think. You think the tom needs to come up? Toms need to come up a little? I'm just too lazy to change these heads. I mean, I think they sound pretty good. I mean, the 12 and the 16 could use some tweaking, I think, but overall, I think they're in an acceptable place. Let's see, Ralpher, sorry, these names. Hello from Spain, and thanks for the inspiration. Yes, of course. That goes out to Matthias, too. Yeah, we just did a quick, sound check. Thanks for the kind words, Raferi. And Yeah, we have to wait for the electronic delay. Matthias is in Germany, so I think. Are you in Germany, Matthias? I assumed that for some reason. I don't know. I could be wrong. But we're getting mixed feedback, and it has to go to Mars and back apparently. Let's see. Yes, the 10 is cool. The 12 and 16 are a bit louder, maybe. Okay. Okay. Raphael is my easy name. Oh, that's true, Raphael. Sorry. Raphael. I appreciate the kind words, Raphael, and I apologize for butchering your name. All right, we're going to turn up Tom 2 and 3 a smidge. A smidge. All right, we turned it up. Here's what that sounds like. We're just having fun, all right? We're just tweaking the drum mix here. Just hitting things. Asking internet strangers for feedback. This is what it's come to, folks. All right, this is why we all tune in to the magic of the streaming on the internet. Yes, thanks for hanging out, Raphael. Yeah, it's Raphael and Matthias. We're here hanging out. Happy holidays, bro. Says Shaman Zito. Shaman, happy holidays. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're going to do some cool drum things for the holidays. Maybe get some new stuff. I put this crash up recently. This is kind of new to the setup. We had a much smaller crash here before. We had a 15. And I replaced it with this 17, which I like, but I kind of wish I had something a little brighter. That 15 was really like, it was nice and bright. So I got to get back over to Zildjian if they'll have me. And get some new... Matthias is like, it's great. The 10 can come up a little, be perfect. All right, we're going to turn the 10 up a hair. Okay, cool. Let's do a little bit warming up. Post some questions, and then maybe we'll play along with a track and have some fun with that. My name is Steve Holmes. Thanks for hanging out. I tend to go like too long. Like I play too long. Let's try to keep it compact. All right. Let's zero in on the exciting stuff for the kiddies on the internet. Okay. So do a little warming up, a little improvising, and then maybe we'll play along with the track, the same track I always play along with. But it's a great song. It's fun to play along to. So let's do that. We've got the multicam here, and we've got our camera switcher going. So let's do that. We're just gonna warm up a little bit, and then we'll play along with the track. it would help if I was looking where I was drumming, right? Like I'm just totally zoning out. I'm trying to hit the splash with my left hand. I'm not even hitting it. Not even hitting it. See, I played for like 3. I stopped already. See what's going on? I'm throwing curveballs today. Curveballs today for folks. Oh my God, what's Steve doing? It's not the normal. It's not the normal. It is the normal. It's the same stuff we play all the time. But hey, that's what I got. That's what I got in me. Let's play along to that track. It's been a minute since I've played along to it, and it's a really fun track. Let's see. Polish Wealth is watching from Bogatynia. Says Romulus. What's up, Romulus? We have Shaman Zeit. What's up, Shaman? On YouTube. And everyone's on YouTube, huh? Everyone is on YouTube. All right, so my goal for this tune is like, I usually end up going like crazy when I end up playing it, like getting all into it and stuff, and I think that there's value to that, but we're going to try to like take it easy in the beginning, all right? We're going to get there eventually. We're going to try to take it easy. This is called May 32nd. It's from my friend Jeff Miley wrote it, and my friend John Flickcraft is playing bass, and on drums is me. Let's see if we can get through this tune. This is called May 32nd. All right. I cut myself off. Because I can go like, I can go for a little while. We'll play again later. Oh, look at that. Poor Mike. Man, that's a bummer. Oh well. Where's my roadie when you need him? Or her. Anyways, what's up, folks? My name is Steve Holmes. We're streaming live from Los Angeles. We did some warming up. We did some playing. Then we played along to a track called May 32nd. Composed by my friend Jeff Miley, who's an amazing guitar player, and my friend John Flitcraft playing bass on it. There's actually a video of us playing that on YouTube on my channel. For those of you that haven't been to my channel, please go, please subscribe. We're coming up on 26,000 subscribers. It would be great. It would be great if we could get some more subscribers, because who knows how long this is going to last. Who knows how long we'll be able to do this and all this, and it's good. It's healthy. Trying to be productive, trying to play some music, play some drums, exercise that part of my brain and like the body together. That's the thing, is like it's getting to the point where like my right hand started to get a little stiff and a little like, I don't know if we can do these things that you're asking. And so you kind of have to like change up, maybe lower the volume, hold a little looser, like, take some steps to try to like get control back. I find that happens. Let's see what folks are saying on the chat. Does this work? Yes, it does. Look at that. Hey, the chat. Welcome to the chat cam, ladies and gentlemen. This is me showing you the chat. Let's see. Shaman says, that jam was tight, man. Thank you. Matthias is like, hey, that poor mic. Tell me about it. The 10-inch mic like took a beating. GSW says, very nice, Steve. Here's some Holdsworth guitar in there. The Dunnett snare. Yes. Yeah, we love the Dunnett snare. We've gotten a pretty good place. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I just like do basic research and keep tweaking things until I think it sounds, acceptable. Cheers. Excellent fusion drumming, says Dirk. Thank you. Shaman says, woo, Steely Danish. Yeah. Reminds me of Brand X. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I just watched that Phil Collins documentary on Drumeo. It's actually free. I was surprised that they released it for free. So if you don't subscribe to Drumeo, you can still watch it. They just released this like 2-hour documentary on Phil Collins, and man, was it good. I love Phil Collins. He's one of my favorites. Let's see. Nice to see you playing, Steve. Merry Christmas. Yay. Yeah, it's nice to be playing. All right, we're going to move this up a little bit so we can see everything. Oops. Nice to see you playing. Merry Christmas, Steve, says Alan. Oh, man, Alan JS, longtime follower. Thank you, Alan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a happy and healthy holiday. Let's see. When are you gonna see Steve Holmes on Drumeo, says Ryan Cox? I mean, ask them, right? Ask them. I mean, I reached out to one of those guys during the pandemic, so I kind of planted a seed there, and if they want me, they can reach out. They've got so many drummers on there. It's almost saturated, But if folks think I have something to offer, I mean, it would surely be fun, and it would be a privilege to share information on there, and that would be fun for sure. Let's see. John Hand says, hey, Steve, still working on our lesson material. Yeah. Checking quarter notes on the hat, getting more comfy. Man, it's all about that. It's all about checking the quarter notes on the hi-hat when you're playing. I'm a big fan of that. John and I talked about that in a private lesson. Brian is like, I'm boycotting Drumeo until it happens. I mean, reach out to those guys. If folks want me on there, reach out to Drumeo or the Drumeo folks can reach out, I don't want to, I'm sure they get so many people reaching, oh, I want to be on, and I'm not going to be that guy. Like, they know where to find me kind of thing, but it would be a privilege, I mean, some of my favorite, Dave DiCenzo and Gergo Borlai on Drumeo, like their solos that they play on there are some of like just some of the best drumming ever. Some of the best drumming ever, especially DeCenzo's. And I think he's playing on like a 4-piece. It's bananas. I mean, DeCenzo, that guy is like, I got to get his book. I know I keep talking about it. I wanted to get the book and work on it like live on the stream, like show the page that I'm working on, show me like trying to get through the thing. And I think I asked him about that, if that was okay to do, because, you know, copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah. And we had trouble actually communicating on Facebook. He said that he messaged me and I never got a message. And maybe I'll reach out to Dave again, because that's the kind of thing I know I'll regret if I don't do down the line, you know. For folks that aren't familiar with Dave DeCenzo, he is a fountain of vocabulary. He's amazing, and he's put out 2 books, spelling out a lot of that stuff. So I would definitely check out Dave's books for sure. Yeah. Checking the hi-hat we were talking about. And then Will Plout is like, what's up, Steve? Gush. Currently tuning in from the drum lair. Nice. Well, let's you do a stream, Will. Let's see. I'm gushing so much. The gush has like embedded itself as like, I use the gush as like a lick that I'm abusing at this point. Like I'm putting the gush like as a standalone thing, but also I'm really into like these days, like doing kind of simple-ish tom figures, but like putting a cymbal over top of everything. Like instead of doom to doom, I'm like, you know, like every tom gets a cymbal, you know, and it's fun to just like mess with that stuff, experiment with that stuff, you know, like this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, like literally using the gush as like a fill, you know. Really digging that stuff these days, and it's challenging too, because you know, if you're playing like 16th, I was doing that earlier. If you're playing like 16ths on a tom and you want like a cymbal at the same time as one of those notes, and you got to put a flam in there, right? So you're like do do dooge, do 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 doon, you know, like I was doing before, you know. Like a tom and like splash, and then like middle tom and crash, and then like floor tom and like whatever, say this thing. So you gotta do like a kind of flam, like to get that second note, like, because I'm always trying to think of musical phrases, right? So it's like stu-du-du-dum, you know, so it's like. And then keeping like those ghost notes, I mean, that kind of thing. You know, because a lot of that stuff is done mostly like snare and ride together. You know, like Swiss flams, whatever. You know, flam paradiddles. Sorry, can't see my drum. You know, talking about like the common like. You know, putting that stuff on toms and some. I don't use the brushes a lot around here. I should use them more. I'm not very good with brushes, actually. One let's see. Folks are still chatting it up. Keep the comments coming. Keep the questions coming. I love it. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Have you ever seen the video of Gergo's solo over the You Know at the Bag Show or whatever it's called? Says Ryan. You know, I probably have. I've seen pretty much all of Gergo's stuff. I mean, I've been following him for a while. He's one of my favorite guys. I took a lesson with him years ago, actually, and then managed to learn like a lick of his, and then made a video of that lick, including a clip of him like demonstrating it in my lesson. If with him, like if you want to see that, that's on my channel. The title is like, you know, crazy, you know, I called it the limb breaker, the Gergo Borlai limb breaker, which I still like. I really like that lick, the limb breaker I call it. It's like groups of 9/16 notes, you know, but it's so like for me, it's just such a challenge coordination wise that I'm at the point where I've done it enough to where it's become like a musical phrase in my head that sometimes, you know, that part of my brain will throw it to me like, okay, now do that, you know, do the thing. And my body will be like, you know, it's still not like, this is just a quick demonstration of that lick, the Gergo Borlai limb breaker. So there's me like embarrassing myself, you know. And again, like I'm at the point like where I've incorporated it into my like the 1 bar phrase. And it would probably be easier if I didn't like check my hi-hat on the quarters, but that's a requirement for me. Got to check the hi-hat on the quarters, you know, because I just have to. I just love how that sounds. I love the purpose that it serves. It gives a good, you know, good reference for the audience, for other musicians, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's actually easier without that. But Ryan says sounds like a 7-note figure. It's not. It's a 9-note figure. It's groups of 9s, 16 tones. Yeah. That last bass drum. I just love the kind of chaotic, like franticness of that. Let's see what are folks. Oh man, technical difficulties here. There we go. Keeping the hat going is what definitely breaks some limbs. Yeah, it's true, man. And, you know, John was on here talking about that, John Hand, because he, you know, John came over and we did a lesson, I think. Yeah, and we talked a lot about that. It's all about that, getting comfortable with checking the hi-hat. That's so key. Let's keeping the hats going. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of I spend a lot of time improvising against that. And I don't know if we can. I don't know if I can actually show my foot. Sometimes folks are like, "Hey, how do you?" Yeah, you can see my foot, right? Let's get my phone out of here. My foot, yeah. So this is what my foot looks like when I'm doing that. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit, you know. It's like the my foot is like it's like halfway down the pedal. It's not like all the way on the pedal. I'm not like I've seen guys with their foot all the way on the pedal and they're kind of like stabbing the pedal with their heel. I don't do that, you know. I've gotten to the point where I'm just kind of tapping my foot the way I tap my foot when I'm not drumming. You know, it's just that I'm just doing that like on the pedal, with my foot halfway down, basically. So that's super important, I think. But it's almost to the point where it's like too like it's automatic pilot, which is not good because really you want it to be like a decision that you make. You want to do it intentionally, you know. And I like to do, you know, with the left foot like just regular chicking, not just like what I call the sloshing or the splashing, you know, just the chicking. It can really like make a big difference when you're on the ride cymbal. If you're chicking, you know, if you're chicking quarter notes, if you're chicking eighth notes, if you're sloshing, you know, that kind of thing. I did a video on that as well on my channel, a whole video on, you know, using the ride cymbal and the hi-hat together, you know, and how the way that you stomp or chick or splash your left foot can totally change how a groove sounds. You know, it's kind of crazy. Folks don't really, you know, think about that or I mean, they think about it, but it's definitely one of those things that's just automatic pilot. And I'm guilty of that too. I don't mind that it's automatic pilot while I'm soloing, while I'm blowing, you know. But like while I'm grooving and stuff, it should definitely be like a decision, you know. Let's see. So that seems to be it for the chat. My name is Steve Holmes. We're streaming live from Los Angeles. It's December 22nd, 3:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's see. Last stream we did a bunch of hand stuff. We did some warm up stuff. We did like doubles, singles, molar, not molar, paradiddle stuff. And this week, I mean, we already talked about the hi hat. You know, it's funny. I wanted to do like a stream where I was like, okay, here's like literally every lick that I know, but like blast it. Like here's this lick, here's the sticking, here's this lick, here's this, and just so I could just send folks to like later on when they ask about stuff like what's this, I'll be like, oh, here's the video, this timestamp, it's this lick, you know. You know what I thought would be fun to talk about actually is I'm just getting so much mileage out of like flam phrasing between the snare and the toms. Usually a flam followed by, you know, a single, you know, a single hit. Just getting tons of fills and stuff out of that. Let me demonstrate some simple stuff. I'll improvise and I'll see if I can land on a figure and then I'll slow that figure way down and maybe, you know, take it apart and stuff. But really there's so much meat on this bone, you know. Talking about playing flams like between tom and snare and then like turning that into a phrase. Man, I feel like that's like the magic like link in that chain, you know, the bladoon, and followed by like whatever, two doubles or one single or whatever you need to do to connect to the next thing. But man, that blaboom, you know, blabat, you know, flam tap, you know, it's a left-handed flam, which means the left hand comes down, you know, second, and you know, doing the tap afterwards, and then that gives the left hand enough, just enough the time that it needs to do that double afterwards, you know, like blah boom that that, you know, like just jump starting so many things with that, you know. Let's do that some more. So that tap after the flam, you know, I'm doing it on the same drum that the flam is on, but if you move that tap to another drum, it gives it a whole other thing. So instead of like blah boom, it's like blah boom, blah boom. You know, it's just getting comfortable with the sticking and putting the hands like all over the place, and arriving at phrases that you like, and then keeping those for your own like vocabulary, you know. And then it's worth mentioning that like if there's enough space in there, if your hands can do it, then I'm inserting doubles in between those hits, you know, so blah boo da boo da, that kind of thing. Sorry. Let me get the brushes. You know, that's kind of like a Vinny thing. The da-das, das, da-das, das, da-das, das, da-das, that phrase, you know. So, and that's the end. It starts over at that point. But the accents are da 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 da. All right, so. So I guess there's some molar going on there on the left hand, right? I'm kind of using the molar to kind of, you know, to kind of like restart that cycle, you know? And then, you know, changing it to one tap instead of two, you know, one hit after the flam instead of two. So bladoon instead of bladoon, you know, like. And then mix and match, right? Just like checking the hat before the phrase, right? Just to vary it up. And then getting into like, you know, improvising with accents between the right hand and the left hand. Sorry, between the right hand and the left foot. You know, simple, you know, downbeats and upbeats. It's just filling in all the doubles in between. And using the flam stuff to jumpstart that, right? So it's like bladoon, doon, boon, doon, spadoon, doon. That kind of thing, you know? So, and, you know, not doing a lot of feet in there. So once you start really mixing the feet in there, it can be crazy. And then, you know, since we're doing flams instead of like, you know, tom and snare, you can do like tom and cymbal like we were talking about earlier. and that's your flam, right? Let's try to take one of those existing phrases and put it on cymbals instead of snare. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Let's see. Kind of going all over the place, but I'm just trying to illustrate like the usefulness of flams, between the tom and the snare. And I find that sounds just, I prefer that sound over like doing a flam between the snare and the tom, with the tom coming down second. Like that just doesn't sound fat. Like it's that second stroke being the snare, the badat that I think is kind of cool sounding. Whew. So yeah, flam stuff, super fun. What are folks saying? Have you ever heard of other musicians? Thank you for keeping the hi-hat going during solos. I feel like it's crucial for real actual gigging situations. I mean, I don't know if anyone's been like, thanks for tapping your hi-hat, but I mean, the thing is, like, if you're playing music successfully and if it's helping, then then that's really, then it's working, or not, What else with flams? We'll stay away from the bluzda. We talked about the flam, like flam, putting an accent after the flam. Putting the toms with cymbals. Yeah, that same sticking we were doing with the flam phrase, you can actually put it like on the ride cymbal or the hi-hat and use that same phrase as a groove. That's kind of fun. So, flam stuff, putting it on toms and snare, using it as a groove with the ride cymbal. Like, once you get your hands used to this stuff, I mean, but you got to have the ideas, that's the thing. You got to be able to sing this stuff to a quarter note. You got to get while you're playing, your brain will hand you like, what's okay, now this, now this, and that just comes from just spending time improvising and putting this stuff together and getting past the point of it being like academic and have it be more, like I said, like musical phrases that you're kind of stringing together to tell you know, to tell a story, if you will, you know. Cheers. All right, so I was gonna maybe turn on the click. Is the click working? Like we did the tracker. I wanted to play something like really slow. That's count of 1 at 76. 3, 4, 1. Let's see if we can do that. Man, that's tough. 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? Can you guys hear that click? 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's see if we can do that. All right, that was 76 count of one only. Let's slow it down. Let's really make a fool out of ourselves here. Let's do 66. All right, 66 BPM count of one only. All right. That was 66 BPM. Count of one only. Man, I really stink at that, eh? I mean, I know where one is, but I'm not like nailing it, you know? But I like to just tell myself, I'm playing organically. Yeah. Anyways, tried a couple different things in there, like being like right on the grid, you know, obviously subdividing, all kinds of different things in there, like hearing it like double time, blowing over it like in a double time thing, hoping that you're with it, you know. Let's see. Have you ever had other musicians thank you? Oh yeah, that was the last comment. All right, things like feels like folks have kind of checked out. I'm about ready to check out too. That was fun. That was practicing over a click, count of one only. 66 BPM. My name's Steve Holmes. Thanks for hanging out. There's a link in the description for folks that are interested in supporting. Please support us poor musicians. I don't have a Patreon or anything, but if folks are interested in contributing, there's a Linktree link in the description, probably, of whatever you're watching. Click the Linktree link, and if you're feeling generous, then there's your opportunity. It's greatly appreciated. We're trying to get some new microphones, some new gear. It all goes to the drum room. So yeah, we had a pretty good stream today. We did like some cool flam phrasing, played along to a track at the beginning for a change, did some warming up, that kind of thing. And then like, man, more click practice. You know, sometimes, I mean, the challenge of playing to a click with like, you know, missing clicks, like, oh, only the count of one or whatever, like it's challenging, but sometimes I feel like a more musical approach would be to actually give myself more clicks. I mean, the more clicks, the more clicks there are, and the more like, you know, music there is to subdivide to, or, you know, heaven forbid we get like a loop or something. I mean, I like playing along with loops and stuff. It's just like, I just don't like a lot of them. Like, it's hard for me to find music to play along to that I like because I'm so picky. You know, I'm just too picky with like loops and tracks that I want to play along to. And that's why I always play along to the same like handful. Because I hear a lot of stuff and I'm like, that's crap. Don't want to play along with that, for better or for worse. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out. Let's give one last look at the web chat here. Let's see, keeps the hi-hat going. Let's see your Drumeo material because you're a great teacher, Steve. I love these improv sessions, says Douglas. Thank you, Douglas. No one does this. Steve, this is how I love to practice myself. Yeah, I mean, improvising and practicing kind of, you know, it's definitely has value, you know, like being able to exercise that part of your brain if you're interested in improvisational music, jazz music, or jazz influence music, you know. And I'm at the age now where it's like any playing is good practice, you know. I mean, the rust starts to accumulate pretty quickly these days, and that didn't used to be the case. You know, I was pretty lucky in that regard. My friend used to give me a hard time about that. I'd go weeks without playing, and I'd sit down, and it would just kind of happen. But I can't do that anymore. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. We'll do this again probably, I don't know, in a week or so. You know, I'm off for a while, so we'll do some more drumming. All right. Anyone interested in lessons in the Los Angeles area or over Zoom, you can email me, steveholmes@gmail.com. And yeah, let's get into it. So keep me posted. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. All right. Peace.